Graham King. This is a success story that's going to bite you on the arse when you uh, when you hear the last bit of it.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Graham King, 57 years old,
Yeah.
was an owner of a caravan park, and he was flung into the rich list this year after capitalizing on his current venture. Right? Entrepreneur, not our Graham.
Mm.
Uh, what were once more compared to Butlins and Pontins holiday parks is raking in £4.8 million a day for Graham.
Right.
His business, Clear Springs Ready Homes, which finds specialized accommodation on things like unused military barracks and flats, uh, low intensity hotels
Okay. Yeah.
with low
Yeah.
low, um,
No use.
low
Yeah.
residency
Yeah.
rate, right? Uh, and he's got all this for his targeted customer,
Mm.
uh, the British government,
Oh,
by housing illegal immigrants. That's a little nibble. That's a little nibble I was telling you about.
yes. Yeah. I wondered how long. Wondered how long. Yes.
His company had a cash injection of £400 million just over the last 12 months.
Wow.
Housing immigrants costs around £130 a head per day, and the prices are rising due to scarcity of housing. There's nowhere else to put them.
Okay.
This comes to around £8 million a day overall.
Mm.
Overall,
Oh, yeah.
uh, with Graham taking just half of that money for his company. He's got a company that his company it's got various companies, and one
Yeah.
sort of governs the other.
Yeah.
Let's put it like
No. 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 Yeah. See that. Yeah. Umbrella company or something. Whatever they call it. Yeah.
that's right. Um, Last year it made £91 million
Mm.
and paid £90 million
Yeah.
dividends to another company controlled by him, by Mr. King.
Yes. Yeah.
No. So he's not skint. At least I know somewhere to send my begging letters now.
In the queue. Yeah.
Right. So, but look, it's a little bit like the king and his duchess. I'm not really bothered about
Yeah.
the amount of money
Yeah.
Mr. King is making. I mean, if I was in the same situation at the same time, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's
I'm
it.
sure I'm not jealous of the amount of money that he's making,
No.
but it's interesting that we know how much he is, really.
Yeah.
So good luck to Graham, right? That's all I can say. But I am a little bit miffed of the hidden leads in the article that I read.
All right.
Uh, that he's secured a contract with the Home Office until 2029. So the Home Office is going to pay him all this money until 2029. And I don't know if you've done your homework or you've done your calculations, but that's about 5 years from now. Yeah. In other words, a 5 year contract, right?
For government. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so much for the government wanting to resolve the immigration situation, smashing the
Gang.
what are the
The gangs.
eh? The
Yeah.
gangs, right?
Yeah.
They're just not going to do it uh, any sooner rather than later. Because
Yeah.
the government's looking 5 years into the future, and it's still going to be the same situation, if not worse, because the boats don't seem to be going from the UK to France. They're
No.
going from France to the UK, bringing more.
Yeah.
So eyes and ears open, people. This thing is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. How do I know? Because the government, the current administration, has a contract to prove it.
Yeah. Of course.
Away you go.
Well, okay. Graham King is businessman, entrepreneur. Um, he's there to do things, and he's doing it. Yeah, okay, he's taking advantage of a situation that's not of his making, but okay, any of us in that. Um, yes, we all know that this thing about stopping the trafficking gangs is delaying tactics. I'm going to use a slightly different tact here. I'm going to the source of it all. I don't care about Mr. King, goodly, as you said. Yeah, he's an entrepreneur. He's making money, and I'm not going to kick him for that. Okay, people say he's probably connected. Well, that tends to be with business people. It's your network that's more important than sometimes the business you make than doing the deal, the art of the deal. Someone wrote a famous book about it. I can't remember who they wrote that. Um, but I'm I'm very yes. The government has a long-term plan. The Starmer administration and possibly the one before had no desire, whatever reasons, to stop the boats. And yes, they're quite happy to take our taxpayers' money. And the majority of people in the country are right minded. We're not against foreign people, immigrants, if they contribute. Yeah. People who we don't know showing up. And then this is it, we're giving accommodation. When I was last in London and last lived in Southend, I was walking past lots of people on just living on the street. Okay. Now, I don't know the circumstances of these people, and they did seem to be indigenous to the UK, whatever that might mean. Yeah. Um, well, I know what it means. Yeah, it means that they spoke they spoke fluent English with yeah, without any accent. Um, some of them said they're ex-forces or look like they're ex-forces or could well be. Yeah. And this is what's really grating me. I'm all for people coming in, contributing to society. We've moved to another country, we contribute. Yeah. I do work here. Nobody gives me a nice handout and somewhere to live. Yeah. Same as you, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
You moved to the UK, happy days. I know of people that have gone to the UK quite recently, moved back from other countries, and they can't get anything from the government, or they're struggling to. To say they can't get anything, it's a struggle. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, people having to go through loops and everything else to do it. And yeah, getting quite desperate on some couple of occasions. Yeah, and then you get a bit healthy young men who go there and just get given places and then start saying, "Yeah, I'm going to be blunt about this. Are menacing, being a menace in society. Okay, it's not every one of them. It could be one, two, or three, and unfortunately, we all know how that works. And it takes a couple to actually give everything a bad name. Yeah.
I'm not sure if being a menace, like you said, there's only one, two, or three is the main problem seen by the population. The problem is the strain on
Yeah.
public services.
Yeah. And we'll
And
get to
like you
this. Yeah.
said, the people who are living on the street are ex-servicemen.
Mm,
And the funny thing about it is that our friend Mr. King,
yeah.
he's using old army barracks
Mm,
to house and not to house people who will be used to using them,
yeah.
i.e., soldiers,
Yes.
or ex-service people. That could be quite an ideal place for these ex-service people to be housed.
Well, they're in a familiar, yeah, familiar environment. I'm not going to patronize it to them to
Yeah,
make their choices, but in a
yeah.
familiar, I'm probably used to being with each other. And if you ever know ex-servicemen, the best people they are best around are ex-servicemen, given the humour and all that.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
yeah, sometimes it's not what we would call in today's world politically correct, the
Mm.
humor. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's yeah, I mean, I'll get into this. This is it. So the money, okay, these people are a problem. The money being spent on them. Why? What is the agenda with it all? Okay, this guy's making money on it. Yeah, I'm not going to criticize, but the money would be better spent housing, training, helping our own, helping indigenous population first. If a foreign person wants to come in and can contribute to British society, happy days. If they're contributing, they're earning. Yeah. What do we class as a refugee? It's still an art.
People, yeah,
Yeah,
foreigners going to the UK,
yeah,
claiming asylum.
yeah,
If their case hasn't been resolved
yeah.
by I think it's a year,
Mm,
then they are allowed to work in the UK. However, they're only allowed to earn 80%
yeah,
of a wage of a British natural born
yeah.
worker doing the same job.
Well, we know that's
So
yeah,
there may be
yeah.
uh, a little light on the question you just asked.
Yes.
What is the agenda?
Well, we've had this before. Yes, and yeah, and this is and people are realizing this. I mean, it's on yeah, it's not mentioned on the BBC that I know of. Channel 4, I don't believe, have done a documentary. They're kicking up, not kicking sideways, as it were. Um, it's a yeah, we've got to understand this. You're not going to get any truth out of the current administration. The current administration,
Out of any administration, sir.
well, yeah, okay. Well, when I say current administration, I'm talking about the uni party or what has been between the Conservatives and the Labour. Yeah. I consider them one administration in the background of the civil service or the blob or whatever. It's one administration. Yeah. Just so happens that the current person who's now taken the reins of the Conservative Party tried to kick against the administration and ended up being kicked themselves. I've got to stopwatch how long she actually lasts, to be quite honest. In fairness, that's nothing against her. I don't agree with everything she said, but you know, hey, she's been elected there. That's going to be an interesting scenario. Um, it's we're going to have to break the cycle somehow of all this happening. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. King, but you know, I'd like to see your profits severely dented for the common good of everyone else. But whether or not that will happen or not, it's anyone's guess. Even if you write to your local political representative, from what I can tell, absolutely nothing gets done. Even if you get well, you're more likely to be probably have a call from the police on some sort of harassment or offence charge. Yeah. So don't question the agenda. Don't question what's going on. Democracy dies almost. Yeah. If we ever had democracy, but all illusion of it's disappearing as well. So yeah. And the rich get richer, poor get poorer. And you will sit down and you will be quiet and eat your humble pie. It's not even a case of that. So eat your grog, or eat your what is it? You eat your stew or whatever we call it. They used to call it the grog, and
Gruel.
yeah,
Eat
yeah,
your
the
gruel.
gruel. That was it, gruel. Eat your gruel, which is about anyone's going to be able to afford soon. Anyway, yeah, it's going that way. Um, I'm going to be quite honest with you, Steve. I'm sorry to say this. I would like another general election in the United Kingdom done in an orderly time, not race through to actually prevent everyone who wants to stand being able to stand. I'm calling on Mr. Starmer to wind up your government next week, call a general election, or consider one maybe in the new year now.
Listen, choosing politicians for a next administration
yeah,
bearing in mind that that's what it is, and administration.
yeah,
It's a little bit like, and as you say, it's neither one party nor another. It's still this uni party.
yeah,
It's going to be a little bit like, I don't know if you remember when you were a little kid at school,
yeah,
and I mean a little kid, sort of like
yeah,
6 or 7 years old,
yeah,
and the teacher asked, right, who wants to be the first one to get the milk? And all the little kids put their hand and say, "Me,
yeah,
pick me,
yeah.
pick me." It's going to be like that,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. You can pick anybody, but they're always going to be a little kid.
Mm.
You don't pick anybody of their merits because they're all just little kids.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to choose a politician on the merits because they haven't done anything to be merited on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, the problem is, um, and get away from all this. I mean, what would be the answer though? I mean, less than 30% actually, it would appear, actually wanted this present administration, the UK, in, and it is because of, yeah, mainly immigration and prices. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's a trend going on here. Um, what other options do we have? Do we have an intervention from another organisation, maybe? Currently, yeah,
Well, the World Economic Forum is standing on the sidelines just waiting to come in. If
yes.
that's to give you any hope.
Oh, right, wonderful. I'm not a complete turkey. I'm not voting for that Christmas. Yeah, but
Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably trying to pick the best of the worst, but either way, either way, uh, even though the captain of the Titanic said, "I didn't see an iceberg," the ship went down anyway. So
well, all I can say is the people of the UK, you live there, you're going to have to make some very tough choices, and I don't quite know how we're going to address this situation.
it's no coincidence that I'm sat here with my feet under this table where I am here in Brazil, and not still in the UK. Yeah,
But
joining the throngs during the amongst the throngs of people marching towards Downing Street.
uh, jump on your tracks on the 19th, can't you? But yeah, um, if actually, yeah, the government might not last that long. We could live in hope. I'm not quite sure what sort of a thing we'll end up with if that happens that quickly. Yes. Um, yes.
Food for thought, Mark. Food for thought.
Yeah, no, I am thinking, and yes, I'm feeling a bit down about everything now, Steve. Thank you for that. You've really,
Sorry about that. I thought
yeah,
I'd perk you up.